Educational GMAT. Your partner in your GMAT journey.
Interesting question, not difficult at all. Understand what the question statement itself is telling you. For 3 years of economic volatility in country X, so what's the baseline? What's the baseline? This is the baseline. Every bar in this graph is with respect to this, right? So for example, we are talking about what? Quarter 2 in 2013 had what? 3.7% lesser GDP than the GDP of quarter 4 in 2010, right? Similarly, for example, this one, quarter 3 in 2012 had 2.8% more GDP than that of quarter 4 in 2010. Everything is with respect to this, right? Quarter 4 in 2010 was the base, and then this is obviously quarter 1 in 2011. Are we clear? So in the period of 2011 to 13, which is what this graph is about, the inflation adjusted euro value of quarterly GDP was least in which of these? Least. This is not difficult at all, guys. Sorry. How are you coming to that? First quarter is how much? No, no. First quarter is how much? What does 1.1 indicate, Kavita, according to you? More than what? Very nice. And similarly, what does 0.3% indicate to you, according to you? More than what? Sorry. Now I think that's where the gap in understanding is. Everything is based on this. This is the baseline, Kavita. So what? So 0.3. So in quarter 2 of 2011, the GTB was 0.3% greater than this, not greater than this. This is the baseline. So everything is with every data here is with respect to this. Are we clear? So according to this graph now, when is the GDP the least?
Quarter 2 of 2013.
Quarter 2 of 2013. Very nice. And it's really as simple as that. Why? Maximum negative value, right? Minus 3.7%. There is no value in this entire graph lesser than this, right? So in Q2 of 2013, the GDP was 3.7% lesser than the GDP in Q4 of 2010. No value in this graph is obviously lesser than minus 3.7%. Let's put it that way, right? So as simple as this, okay? Then it says the nearest zero to the nearest 0.1%, the median of the percentage differences, right? These are all percentage differences that are shown in the graph. Each of these is a percentage difference shown in the graph. What is the median? Median. So now in median is a very frequently tested statistic on GMAT. So the one thing you need to understand is immediately median. What do we have to find out the median for? Percentage difference, correct? And what are the percentage differences? Plus 1.1, plus 0.3, plus 4.8, plus 5.1, minus 1.1, plus 0.9, and so on. So we have to find out the median for these. Does anyone remember how do we find out median? Middle value, right? When do we find out the middle value? When the data are arranged in ascending sequence, yeah, or descending, correct? Now, how many total data points do we have here? 12, right? Because 4 quarters in 3 years. So 12 data points. Since we have 12 data points, how do we find out the median? Since the number of data points is even, how do we find out the median? N by 2, n by 2, and n by 2 plus 1, and the average of these, right? So which means sixth value plus seventh value divided by 2 when all the values are arranged in ascending sequence or descending sequence. Let's take ascending sequence. So how do you find out the sixth value? How do you find out the sixth value? What's the easiest way here to find out the sixth value? Yes. See, think about it. There are some values that are negative, right? So clearly those those 4 negative values will be the least, right?
0.9 and 1.1.
Excellent. So those 4 values are the least. Then, so 4 are already covered, right? Fifth one will be which one? See, these 4 values are gone. Now we come to positive, right? Which is the least one? 0.3, correct? So this is the fifth. Sixth will be 0.9, correct? Sixth is 0.9, right? And seventh will be, yes, next highest value, which is 1.1, correct? So sixth value is 0.9, seventh is 1.1, and we have to find out the average, which would be 1. Are we clear? So I think the most important point was for this question to realize that each of these values is with respect to a static value, which is the GDP in Q4 of 2010. So that actually makes things very easy. So it's not quarter on quarter, right? So for example, what it's not, for example, this 2.8% is not depicting a 2.8% increase with respect to this quarter. No, this 2.8% is the increase with respect to this quarter. Similarly, this 0.9% again is increase with respect to this quarter. So everything is baselined on Q4 of 2010. Any doubt?